Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Oh, someone else coming. You'll have to bear with me because our beautiful Boone isn't on, so I've got to do the around cameras as well, but that's absolutely fine. No, before we start, just a bit of fun. You all need your iPhones or your phones, please. I just want to have a look at something. Let me just, oh, here it is. Share my screen. And we're going to go into slideshow, she says, from the beginning, barbecue, and then we've just got the next one, and there's a question coming up. And what I want you to do is use your iPhone. I seem to have lost mine. And just tell me what model you've got. You just need to scan the QR code. Whoops, no, I can't. Come on, someone's, TM6, fantastic. I'm going to scan mine. If I can get into my phone. Have you all got TM6s? Everyone must have a TM6. Oh, it was just a, yeah, okay, cool. That's all right. Okay. That was just to see, because you can actually have a look at everybody's what models people have, and the biggest number will come up as the biggest picture on there. So anyway, we'll assume everybody's got TM6 then. All right, so welcome to today. I'm Mandy, if you don't know me, and I have my beautiful team helping today. We've got Pam, Pearl, and Keisha, and we've got Sithi watching in. She's joining us, so so that's fantastic that she's getting the hang of things. So today we are doing barbecue, and one thing I just want you to have a think about, and we were just talking about this before. So we had a very spontaneous little cocktail session last night, and Pearl said to me, Pearl is an amazing recruiter. She said, you've got to get Kelly to join the team. So watch out, Kelly Badge. You were so good presenting your cocktail.
She was fantastic yesterday. You were a pro yesterday, Kelly.
Yeah.
So you were in our team.
I've learned from the best. I've been watching you ladies.
All right. So we're going to start actually with Keisha. So I'm going to come over to replace my spotlight with her. Here we are. Here she is.
Hello, everyone. I'm cooking today mac and smoky cheese. And I've tried this recipe beforehand, so I'll tell you little tricks that I've learned through. So I've cooked the pasta. It's asked me when I start to preheat the oven, which I'll do it now. We will bake the dish in the oven, and it's asking to grease the baking dish with whatever size this gives you the size of it, 30 to 20 centimeters, and butter and set aside. I spray some oil on it, and it asks for 120 grams, which is 1 liter, 200 milliliters of water, and saves about 5 minutes of cooking in the Thermomix, so you might want to boil it. And if you don't, you cook it for 8 minutes on 100 degrees. And then it asks you to dry the macaroni pasta and put an insert measuring cup into mixing bowl and cook for another 10 minutes. Drain the pasta, the usual stuff that you would do. And in the meanwhile, what I did while the pasta was cooking, I put in the oven a bacon rashes. It's asking for shortcut bacon rashes, so it's lean meat. There's no fat on it. So I've put on the oven for 10-15 minutes, and I baked it, and I cut it into pieces. And it's it says transfer to a chopping board, cut into small pieces, transfer into bowl with pasta. So I'm gonna mix it with pasta, which I put in here. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm gonna pour the sauce, cheese sauce on top of it when it's finished. And
so we just got Keisha to pre-cook the pasta because it was going to be, you know, time that we can use with other things for you.
And I'm now starting to cook the sauce. So it's asking for 500 mils or grams of milk. So you tear it. And I should have the exact amount. I've got a little bit more. 80 grams of unsalted butter are chopped into pieces. And 250 cream cheese. I've got 200 cream cheese. I bought this cream cheese in Woolworths. I haven't tried it before. Looks nice. It's called Kiri, Greek style cream cheese. So it's about 200 grams of it. And I think I like the texture better than Philadelphia. And 2 teaspoons Dijon mustard.
Oh, at 5 o'clock, love, would you feed the dogs for me, please?
Whoever's got their whoever's not mute, could you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Gosh, it's not me. Sorry.
And 1/2 teaspoon black pepper. You can make it more spicy if you want. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're using smoked cheese, which is in deli section. And it's asking to put the lid on, and it will cook for 7 minutes on 90 degrees on speed 2.
Thanks, Keisha. Just a quick word on that too. If you're cooking anything, you can increase or decrease the cooking time. Sorry, just by adding. Goodness, I'm so not used to doing all this moving around thing normally we've got Boone here. So if you use boiling water to start with, you cut down the cooking time of a lot of things by 5 minutes. So just bearing that in mind. All right, we are moving over to the beautiful Pam.
Hi, how are you? I've just taken some of my key ingredients out of the freezer. I'm going to be doing a classic beef burger today, and also using the meter, which you may have seen on the mix shop, and it's a cool gadget actually. It's very handy. So we'll just be demonstrating that today and giving you an idea of how to. I don't know who. Put up your hand if you mince your own meat for whatever use, for mince purposes. Anyone there? It's I've just noticed it's gone up. I tend to buy the extra lean meat, extra lean mince myself, and it's up. It's $10 a kilo now. Oh, I beg your pardon, 20. It's $10 for 500 grams. Now I've bought for this recipe. It's as it says in the recipe, blade steak, and I've just chopped that myself. That was $16 a kilo, not 20, and I'm making my own mince. So it doesn't take too long. Literally, you'll see it shortly to do it, and it doesn't have any preservatives in it. So it's healthy, and it's time saving, and it's money saving. So I think that's definitely a bit of a winner at the moment because the price is going up. Okay, we'll just go into my week. Classic beef burger with meter. I'm going to start cooking. Now, what I've done is I've pre-prepared some already because it needs to go in the fridge. So I'm just doing the half size of this recipe, which, you know, often people say, oh, they're not sure about whether they can fiddle around with the recipes and things like that. Definitely, and this is what we'll do today. Now, same thing, I don't eat onions, I eat leeks, so I'm just going to put some leeks in. Again, roughly half. Some parsley from the garden. And some extra virgin olive oil. I don't know if it's extra virgin, I think it might be. I'll just, again, put in half. And let's give that a bit of a blitz. Now, hopefully you can hear that. Actually, sometimes it dulls down when we're doing it on our virtual cooking experiences, but you can certainly tell by the sound of it that it's ready, and you can see that there. So I'm just going to scrape down the sides of this. And it's actually quite interesting. It does chop up quite differently with the olive oil in there already. Now, without measuring cup, which is something I usually do anyway when I'm sauteing onions and things, we're going to just cook that down for about 3 minutes. So this way, when you're sauteing onions or leeks in my case, it often releases quite a bit of liquid. So without the measuring cup on, that means some of that will evaporate a bit, and you're getting a bit more caramelisation and a bit less sort of wet onion look. So that's, you can maybe just see the steam coming out there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I can certainly see it here. Oh, I can hear it too. That's good.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I've got good eyes and my glasses on.
Fair enough. I've just been to the optometrist, so mine aren't bad either. I've just changed my contacts. Cool. Oh, if anyone wants to, I'm not allowed to speak about Annette Baumgarten, who you've often seen coming onto Thermomix. She's a fabulous optometrist, so she does a great job, and the Thermomix lover.
Oh, well, that's all right. You can spruik away about Thermomix lovers. That's okay.
So one of the things that's said in the recipe, and you'll see this shortly, this is partially frozen steak that I've taken all the sinew off, because sometimes the sinew wraps around the blades. So I've already done that. In fact, I cheated. I got my husband to do it. And just cut that into 2 centimetre chunks. And I've had it in the freezer for about 2 hours, 2.5, something like that. And it's partially frozen. It's possibly a little bit more than partially, actually, but it's not too bad. But having it partially frozen, it's much easier. It doesn't sort of grab on the blades. So if you're going to do your own mincing, definitely partially freeze it first, because it just makes a much better, more even consistency when you're mincing. It's got a minute to go on this, won't be too long. So I couldn't see before. Did we get many people who are making their own mince? Could you see anyone, Mandy?
I put my hand up.
So I can't see from my side, unfortunately,
yeah.
the way I've got my iPad set up. But it really is. These days, if you're buying supermarket mince, I mean, a lot of people maybe go to the butcher and get it, and probably would be more than $20 a kilo at the butcher. But and they always say you must use it within the 1 day because there's no preservatives. But that's not the case for supermarket mince. You've usually got a good 5 days, so that means there must be some preservative in there. And I'm never sure what else, because it doesn't actually say. So
no, it doesn't.
No.
So Kelly says she sometimes minces, and Robin thanks you for the tip on freezing.
Yes, if you haven't done that before, it can get a bit caught up with the blades. It's just, I totally agree. Yeah, and we'll see that shortly once this is done.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're nearly done here. I'm just going to pop that into a bowl. I'll put it into this one. So there we are. That's all nicely cooked up. Just pop that in here.
So you can mince, any meat like that too. It doesn't just have to be beef. You can do your chicken mince and all sorts of things.
Pork is obviously great. We do that for a Sancho bao, and that's fantastic. I'm going to give that a very quick No, I don't want to go to that one. I want to go to that one. I'm going to give this a very quick turbo because I've got a bit stuck in around the base of it. Oh, it's probably too hot to go to turbo. Never mind. I have to wait for that. We're not going to do it.
It might
Okay,
let you, if you
so-
go to the home screen, it might let you just turn it up.
Maybe. Oh, no, it's on 80 degrees, so it's a little bit warm. You can see me, I mean, we can see the little bookmark thing for, so that's what you do when you go back to the home screen. It's very straightforward. So I'm just going to put the beef chunks in now. Oops, nice. That's going to cool it down a bit because that's partially frozen. Slightly over the amount, which is 350. This recipe, you would do them in batches of meat. 350 is roughly the amount that you want to be doing each time. I'm only going to do one batch just for the sake of time. Okay, so what we've got here is the turbo button automatically comes up on this recipe. So we're just going to give it a turbo about 6 times. I've tried this before. We'll have a look at it. I'm just going to have a sticky beak, see what it looks like. So I think I could do a little bit more maybe. I'm going to give that a tiny bit more. Oops. There we go, let's have a look at that now.
That's one of the advantages of that. You can decide how fine you want it minced.
Yeah, and that looks better.
It's great.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's looking much better. Okay, so transfer into a bowl and set aside. I'm just going to pop that back in here because that's still frozen, so that's okay.
So the other way you can actually mince, I mean, in that recipe it says use turbo, but the other one is 7 seconds, speed 7 will mince you meat too.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I've gone backwards. Okay, now I'm just going to flick through these. Sorry about that, because it's telling me to do the rest of the 300 grams, etc., etc. Okay. Oh, I didn't need to take that out. I thought I did. So I'm adding all the reserve mince, which is basically just this smaller amount. Sorry about that. I forgot about that one. Popping in some breadcrumbs. So these are also easy to just blitz up using turbo or just speed 5 with some of your leftover bread.
And if you're gluten-free, you can use gluten-free bread, or I use almond meal.
Yeah, that'd be good too. I'm only doing 1 egg yolk because I'm doing a smaller quantity. Biggest jar of Dijon mustard in the world. Thank you, Mr. Costco. We go through a fair bit of this in our household. A little bit of salt. A bit of pepper. And we'll put the onion in. Okay, so on this recipe, we're going to insert the spatula through the lid and stir as it goes along. Now, I don't have the full quantity of meat in this, so it's slightly different. But I tried it before and it still works. So it's going to give that a go. Say it's in the mixing. I'm going to give it a bit more of an extra swizz around because I'm, as I said, I've got the smaller quantity. Is That's mixing up quite nicely. Oh, thank you. My husband's on lighting duty. That's looking pretty good. Finish this off. So you can see how I've sort of fiddled around with the recipe a little bit. You don't always have to do absolutely everything it tells you to do. So basically now we're just going to mix that up and we just put it into patties. Just put it back in this bowl. I do have clean hands. And you want them slightly bigger than they're going to end up looking like, because they do shrink a little bit. So I'm basically, this recipe makes 6 and I've got a bit under half, but I'm going to make 3 of these. So you just basically shape them with your hands. Here we go. So can you see that okay? So there are my 3 minced patties. Now I do have to wash my hands after that. What we're going to do now is just looking at the recipe here. I've already done this. I've got some on a plate covered in the fridge for 30 minutes to firm. I'm not going to do the actual cooking right now. I'll do that when we're off air, so to speak. So I'm not going to worry about putting the pan on.
Can I get connected with my Bluetooth?
Huh? So here's the ones I've prepared earlier.
These connect.
I'm just going to brush them with a little bit of olive oil on each side. Rather than adding olive oil to the pan. And then what I'm going to do is...
I like that idea. I like that idea of brushing the burgers.
Yeah, it just also keeps the meat, the fat content down a bit too.
Mm.
What I'm going to do is we're going to use our little meter. Oops, my phone's gone off. Here we go. So I'm not sure. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
So it just says set up cook. So I'm going to tap that to set up cook. We've got beef. We've got now other burger. And we probably want it medium, I would say. So that's good. We're going to start the cook. It's telling you what to do for your meat. You've got to have it well inside to the little mark on the meter. So I'm going to do that. Oh, yes, right. Should be kept away. Okay, I'm just going to put this in. Just like that. It's not coming through all the way to the other side. And then I'm going to put that, I'll leave you to have a look at some other lovely recipes while I cook them with the meter in.
Fantastic. Thank you, Pam. And just so everybody knows, the Meter Plus, the barbecue cookbook, and the thanks, Spoon, nice to have you. And the skewers, the barbecue skewers, are the bundle that you can get with a Thermomix this month for $49. All right, now, Keisha, how are you going? Are you ready for us?
Yes, I'm ready. The sauce has cooked a while ago. So this is the liquid. I don't know, it's liquidy, so I don't want to pour it. You can't see it properly. I don't want to spill it because it's liquid.
We'll be able to see it. If you can, you might be able to show us when you pour it into the dish with the
yes.
macaroni.
And the next step is asking to put smoked cheese cut into pieces. I did that last time, 3-4 centimeters. With the smoked cheese, what happened was it didn't dissolve properly. So I shredded on speed 7, on speed 7. What should I say? on time, on 7 seconds, speed 7. Yeah, that's right. So I shred the cheese in a bowl before, and it's asking to pour it in. Yeah. What else it asking me to put? And it will cook for 2 minutes. Okay, it's for 90 degrees for 2 minutes in speed 2.
Okay, let me just grab something from the fridge and I'll show it before that's happening.
So you can omit the bacon. You can put veggies instead of bacon. You can have zucchini or eggplant or maybe tomatoes. Whatever you choose, you can put through the pasta. It doesn't have to be meaty, and you can put different cheese, but this is smoked flavors going through. And I don't know if I forgot to put it in, or ask me later to put some smoked paprika in it. So it will have that smoky flavor going through.
Fantastic. Boone, if you want to find me just for a minute, thank you. So the other things you can make, obviously, this is the barbecue sauce. This is in the barbecue cookbook. If you're looking on Cookie Do and you actually want to find the barbecue cookbook, then what you need to do is go from recipes to collections and just put in barbecue. And it will come up with all the recipes that are in that book that we're using today. So this barbecue sauce is the one that is recommended more, on Facebook, on the Thermomix Facebook sites and things. This is the one they recommend, which is in that book. And this is just the tomato sauce as well. And what I love about this is, I don't know if you've looked in the supermarket, virtually everything that's tomato sauce or barbecue sauce is in plastic. All right, and by making it yourself, you can reuse jars and bottles, and you're not having any plastic I know you can recycle plastic, you can only recycle it a certain number of times, and then it's actually going to go in landfill. So, and take 1,000 years to degrade. So just my little hobby horse. Most of you are used to that by now. But anyway, great way to, use your old jars up, make your own sauces. Okay, probably just about back to Keisha, I would imagine, if it's 2 minutes. You're on, Keisha.
I forgot to put the smoky paprika, so I'm gonna put a little bit, and I'm gonna go back and stir it again for a few seconds. And then I'm gonna pour it over the pasta and bake it in 180 degrees for 30 minutes. So I'll go back.
You just need to give it a stir, don't you? So we might wait and watch you pour the sauce in, so see what it's like.
Okay, so that's stirred, so I stopped. So pour mixture over the pasta and put panko.
Breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs. I use this one, safer ones. There are better ones, but I went for cheap version. Okay, so I'll show you how to pour it over.
Kelly, I'll bring you over a sample.
Yes, it's heaps of it. It's for 6 people, actually.
Oh, wow.
So for kids will love it. It's a family dish. Kids like this kind of dishes, so I like them too. They're easy and quick.
Just a big kid, Keisha.
Yes, big kid at heart.
Yes, right.
Okay, so
Looks fantastic.
And the bread comes on top and onto the oven for 30 minutes.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. We'll let you get on with that. And Boone, if you wouldn't mind coming back to me, please. Thank you. All right. I actually realized I'd forgotten. Okay. Kelly's saying there's phobias around tomato sauce with kids. I actually got a little quiz, but I haven't got a very pretty one like I did last time. But just a couple of questions for you. I'm going to watch in the chat. If someone's brought fresh yabbies to a barbecue, what are they? I nearly gave it away. What's a yabby? Too many words to type. A freshwater prawn thing. Thanks, Robin. Yeah, it's a freshwater crayfish. Yeah, cool. All right, another one. When someone says throw a snag on the barbie, what are they talking about? Yes, perfect, sausage. All right, I'll get on with my dish now, and we'll have a few more questions a bit later on. All right, so I'm actually doing two things. I'm doing a damper. And from the same book, from the barbecue cookbook. So I'm just going to go into my wheat because I put it in there, and I know it's down here. All right, start cooking. So I've actually got the oven going, but obviously you can do it in a barbecue if you're happy with that. Line a baking tray. I've just got one of our oven mats, very well used oven mat on here, which is fantastic because again, it's zero waste. 500 grams of self-raising flour. So this is normal self-raising flour. The reason I say that is I have made something a bit earlier and I used gluten-free to see how it went. It actually went all right. I'll show you. I've actually got that cooked. 25 grams of butter. So I've got my butter here. It's going in. Saltbush, not doing saltbush. So we are doing a variation, and I'll just show you. I'm plugging my computer now, it's charged enough. So if you're looking at, it's always good to check out the variations. So the way you can do that is on these three dots, you go recipe detail, you scroll down to the bottom here. It says saltbush has a salty flavor with hints of tart cranberries and da-da-da-da. You can find it at health food shops, gourmet shops, or online. It also says you can bake your damper in a cast iron pot with or without the lid, in the oven or over a campfire if desired. Cooking times will vary. And it's got some variations. It's got an aniseed myrtle damper, a beer and wattle seed damper, a macadamia and feta damper. So that's what I actually made earlier. And a lemonade and chocolate damper. So we are making the lemonade and chocolate damper because it's going over the road. Hope your boys will like it, Kelly. All right, I am going to put a bit of salt in though. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to pop the lid on, measuring cup in. And 20 seconds, speed 6. And just on that, you know, I'll find I'll put it up in a minute, Christine, the damper. If you don't have a friend near you who has a Thermomix, get them along to one of these because we have so much fun. We have food and drinks, cocktails going backwards and forwards across the road all the time. And it's fantastic being able to share things and share ideas, particularly when we can't go do any more than our 5Ks. So bring a friend along who lives in your street and come to our class next week. We're doing low carb next week. All right, so I've got to add 200 grams of water. I've got to make sure, I'm replacing the lemonade, not the water. So that's literally just mix up really the butter and the.
Sorry, Mandy, are you doing the Aussie Damper?
I'm doing the Aussie Damper, yes.
Okay, I found the recipe.
Thank you very much, Boone. All right, so I've made sure that my scales are on 0. I'm putting in 200 grams of water. 194. There we go, 202. All right, then it says 130 grams of milk, but for this variation, it's actually lemonade, and I thought I'd loosened it. Yes. 130 grams of lemonade. Okay. Lemonade might be coming too. All right. Oh, and sorry, and I need 140 grams of chocolate. So again, I'm going to go into those 3 little dots. I'm going to add my scales in here. 140 grams. Everyone. Okay, lid back on, and it's just going to knead it all. So it's got the kneading function on here for 40 seconds. Keep the lemonade using scones, okay. And just watch that. That's the one I made before. All right. And that's gluten-free flour. And you can see it's got macadamias. It's actually got macadamias and feta in it. And you can see I quite liked it. This is a bit gone. A bit rustic, but fine. And this is less sticky than the other one with the gluten-free flour. So put that in there. Just give it a little bit of a twist on the bottom. So you can twist, use the little thing on the bottom here. That's actually the bottom of your blades. And yeah, this is much less sticky than the other one was. Okay, put that in there. And then all I have to do is make it into a bit of a ball. And then just grab a knife quickly. And you just make a cross in the top. So just it says quite a deep cross. Turn it around a bit. And so it will, yeah. Then we just said deep cross into the top of the dough and brush with milk. I've got my thing here, just got to grab the milk. Sometimes I prep, well, I always prep ahead. Sometimes I do it a little while before. I don't want to leave the milk out. So, okay. So I'm just going to brush a bit of milk on there. I think this will be a bit rustic too. But, damper's all about round the campfire, whatever. So I don't think it matters if it's rustic. Okay. So that then is going in the oven for 35 minutes. All right, so moving on from there, new bowl. I am going on to making salad. So I'm just going to again use this, cancel my recipe. I do want to cancel my active recipe. Got my bowl here, and I'm actually going to do something. I don't know if anybody saw on the Facebook group. I'm going to share a tip. So I've only done this today. Someone said to me she'd read something about shredding lettuce in your Thermomix. I'm going, really? I've got a feeling we talked about this Pearl the other day, and I said, oh, you can't do it. But I have done it today, so I'm going to show you the little trick. I've got my lettuce here. I'm going to pop it in. Better work this time. I did try a little practice before. And then I'm going to put a litre of water in there. So I'm just going to guesstimate a litre. All right. Pop it on. And basically, I'm just going to turn it up to speed 4. going to stop it at 5 seconds. This friend said, oh, you know, it says 10 seconds, but I think that's quite a long time. So I won't be able to tip it too much for you, but I will show you when I've actually drained it out. I'm just going to drain it through the top of the varoma.
Mandy, I'm not sure if you can hear me while you're doing that, but was that cos lettuce or iceberg?
That was cos, but I don't think it really matters. That's just what I had in the fridge. So
Yeah, it looks good.
I know. How cool is that? Hang on, I'll just sort of put. That's not bad, is it? So that was 5 seconds on speed 4.
Okay.
So I'm just going to rinse this out. Okay. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to go find my recipe. I want to do that first. I didn't have to wash a bowl. So I'm just going to dry it a little bit. So the recipe I am making is, go into my week, the chipotle bean and corn salad. Yeah, it is a game changer, isn't it, Kelly? I thought it was pretty cool. So what I've done some of this because it involved, you know, being out at the barbecue. So it's heating a barbecue or on a medium heat, or placing a grill pan to actually grill some corn cobs. So I've done that. You can see they're a bit char grilled, and also red onion. So I've done that beforehand. Set aside to cool, and then I've cut the corn off the cob. Then I'm going to put in the bowl 1 red capsicum that I have de-seeded and chopped into pieces, and 4 sprigs of coriander. And that's onion that I've just charred. Chop that. 2 seconds, speed 5. It's getting dark. And transfer into a separate bowl. So that's just one bit just chopped up like that. I'm going to pop that into this bowl. Yum, it smells amazing already.
Beautiful colour.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And I'm a coriander lover though too, so it smells good. All right. Next, rinse the mixing bowl. Do I really need to? I'll check and see if I need to do that in a minute. But it says place a bowl with the capsicum mixture on the top. Just put the bowl up there. 100 grams of cherry tomatoes cut in halves, which I've done in here. Okay. 400 can kidney beans, rinsed and drained. So now again, zero waste little talk again. So with a blade cover, you can do your own beans. So I don't buy a tin anymore. With the blade cover, I slow cook them. And when you slow cook them, you get, so when you actually drain a tin of beans, it's 240 grams that you get out of each tin. So I'm pretty sure there's actually a little bit more than that. Actually, we'll put the scales on, we'll just have a bit of a look. But it means you're not, you know, again, particularly if you can go to somewhere like the Source and you can take your own container, then you can, 220 will do. You can, there is absolutely no waste because you're putting something in your own container, you bring it back, you soak it, and then you slow cook it with the blade cover. I actually use the chickpea recipe, slow cooked chickpeas, but you can do it for, I've got kidney beans, I've got the white ones, I forgot what you call them, the white beans, the black beans, chickpeas, all cooked. And when you make one of their recipes, it gives you enough for two equivalent of 2 cans. At a fraction of the price, and I just freeze them and have them there ready to take out instead of getting a tin. Okay, so that was that. I'll cut up the avo in a minute, and then you've got to top it with the reserve corn. So I'll put this here, it's hard for you to see. I'm going to put the corn in there as well. Nice and colourful. as Pam said. And I will pop the avo on in a minute. All right, then now I'm going to make the dressing. And that's probably why it wanted me to wash the bowl, but the dressing is going to go on the salad, so not much point washing the bowl. All right, so I have 40 grams of lime juice going in. Okay. Then I have 60 grams of grapeseed oil, which I'll actually weigh out here. So you use grapeseed oil quite often in these sorts of recipes because it's got a very light flavour. It's not a strong flavour. Now in here I have 1 garlic clove. I have 1 teaspoon of cumin, and I have I think I've got 35 grams of chipotle chilies in adobo sauce. Now this you can get in your supermarket, just in the sort of Mexican section, and they are easy to find. So I'll pop that in. Okay. 1 teaspoon of salt. Lost my salt now. There it is. Okay. Big pinch. Black pepper. Put my lid on. 10 seconds, speed 5. Okay, so it says arrange half an iceberg lettuce finely shredded on a serving platter. So I'm going to do that. Bring my platter over here. So this is quite, again, it's not great when you're in lockdown because it will make a large amount, but that was my practice lettuce shredding there. Just shaking off a bit of water off the other one, so that's all in there. I love this tip, the lettuce shredding one. Then I'm going to top with the reserve corn salad. Actually, this is a great Christmas one too. It's lovely colours. Certainly feeding a crowd. Some of this might be coming over too, Kelly. There's only 2 of us here and there's 4 of them over there. I don't know if your boys will eat it, but you and Mike probably will. Top with reserved corn salad, spoonfuls of sour cream. So I'm not going to put the sour cream on at the moment. I will add some avocado in whilst we're having a look at something else, and I'll show it to you at the end. All right, and then you drizzle with the dressing and garnish with fresh coriander leaves. So a really simple salad, but really spectacular. Yeah, good. All right, so we are moving back to Pam.
Hello. Well, I've got the the meter is finished. The burgers are finished, but I've recorded what my little meter has done on here. So I'm just going to show you. Hopefully, you'll be able to see this all right. So you can see that screen. That's just going through what it comes up with, and you can see it gives you the current temperature. My dog can smell the cooked hamburgers and he's liking it. So then it says remove from heat, and with that, that's the sound you'll get. So it gives you little alarms along the way, and so I took it off the heat then, and it tells you to rest it for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So it took me a little while to remove it, but it's a fabulous little device. It really works incredibly well. The one thing that's important to do is make sure your phone is off silent when you do it, because I did have mine on silent. I was watching it, so I knew when to remove it, but it does give you alarms, but you've got to make sure that it's actually on silent. Oh, and there's a klaxon horn for when you've gone too far. So, so that's fantastic. So what I've done is I've just put a little bit of sliced cheese on top while it's still hot and resting. You can see here's the one here that I've got the meter in, and I've already also now I'll cut that in half now to show you, but I asked for medium, and that's pretty much delivered, but it's nice and it's still quite moist inside. So I reckon that's pretty good. I'm going to put them, get them plated up, and I've also cooked a little bit of bacon. This is naughty, I know, I probably should have made this myself, but this is something I did find. They're called sandwich stackers, and they taste magnificent. They are the most fabulous. I might try and experiment and make some myself, but they're great in burgers, and it just gives you a really professional sort of feel. It's like spiced cucumber.
Oh yeah, wow.
Sandwich stackers, I think they're called. It's obviously an American style pickle for burgers, but I've also got some homemade tomato chutney and a little bit of homemade tomato sauce, which very kindly comes in a former gin bottle.
Beautiful.
I love
it.
A lovely lady gave this to me. She's made it in a Thermomix, and she said she had unfortunately an awful lot of spare gin bottles from last lockdown. So it was a very nice present. So I'm just going to plate this all up, and I'll let you to go on with what you're up to.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. All right. So I'm just going to quickly show you on Cookie Do. I'm going to share my screen. And I was just thinking, we might have spare gin bottles in this street soon too. Cocktails we're making. All right. So that's the classic beef burger. But what I was going to do was show you, I'm going to come back here. Oh, that's we'll go explore. All right. So on our Cookie Do, whoops, we can, if I just go in here, barbecue, then it's going to come up with a whole lot of recipes. But if you want to find the barbecue cookbook itself, you just go collections, and here it is. So that's our barbecue book. There's some South African thing, another barbecue thing there. Show you a few recipes that are in here too. I'll just sorry, I have to move you guys around a little bit just so I can maneuver. They've got, so there's that barbecue sauce. That is the most recommended one. That is a very garlicky sauce, which apparently is meant to be amazing. Haven't made that one yet. Big Mac style sauce. I know Nicole has made that in the past and said it was amazing. Now, what we're actually having with our salad tonight is this buttermilk and jalapeno marinade, because I made butter some time ago, and you get the buttermilk when you make the butter. So I thought, well, what can I use it in? And I made this buttermilk and jalapeno marinade and just froze it, pulled it out, and I've just got some chicken thigh fillets that are going to go in there. And I will use my Meter Plus to cook those as well. There's a whole lot of different things, spice rubs, different butters. The cooked mayo, if you never made mayonnaise in your Thermomix and you want to give it a go, the cooked mayo is the no-fail mayonnaise. It is amazing. It's delicious. It's really good. See, Kelly was nodding there. The corn, here's the Aussie Damper here. And you can just do it, plain with, and just, it says serve with golden syrup. You can also make your golden syrup in your Thermomix too. Cornbread, I've made that with the jalapeno, honey butter, whole lot of different things. These are a gluten-free bread roll. They're really nice. And as you can see, heaps of different ideas, different things. And we come down to these are some more of the salads. I know last year we did, I think Pearl made that last year when we did something like this. And this, I've made the tomatoes one, that's really delicious too, very easy. And then we come down to a bit of fish that you can cook in your barbecue. The salmon kebabs with coriander chili mayonnaise look really delicious. You can smoke in your barbecue too. So in the front of the barbecue cookbook itself, it gives you some instructions on that. If anybody wants that, just pop in the chat box and I can actually take photos and send it out to you guys. other rubs for the chicken and turkey. And then we've got some pork recipes, the classic beef burger, and so on. So there's a whole lot of things. And Kelly made the pineapple and coconut mojito last weekend. We shared that one. And Pearl is about to show you the Don Pedro. So, but just very quickly, if you decided you wanted to make, say, this flank horseradish, so that looks like that's actually got the salad that I made with it. If you decide you want to make it, next weekend, you just click on these three dots, you add it to your week, and you pop it in. I'm just actually going to put it in for the middle of the week. Yeah, middle of the week there. All right. I can also from here add it to my shopping list. If I go into my week, these are the things we're making today. Obviously, you can see that my shopping list is there. And that recipe should be flank steak with horseradish cream. Okay, so that's in there, ready to go on Wednesday. I'll go into my shopping list. I'll have a look. I've got lemons. I'd need to buy the creme fraiche. I'd need to buy the beef. I don't need the olive oil. I've got the French mustard. Got the horseradish cream. I'd make my mayo, so that doesn't need to go there. And all these spices. Oh no, I've got all of those in my cupboard. I've got rosemary outside and I've got garlic in the freezer. So there's your shopping list. Obviously, you can add your own things on there as well. And you can just go here, order ingredients. Not that you bother for two, but you can just go, it goes to Woolies online and there you go. Oh, the beef flank. So you'd have to find the product, look it up and put something in there and then add your Woolies cart. So that is super simple. Now, before I actually leave here and we go to see Pearl, I just want to tell you, we've got a bit of a challenge on this next week, starting from Monday. Between Monday and Sunday, we want to get as many people as possible to cook this dish. And the reason for that is every week, Thermomix bring out the most cooked dishes on Cookie Dough and the most cooked dishes from the recipe community. And we want to crack Cookie Dough, we're calling it. So we want as many people to cook this as possible. And I'm going to do it actually as a cook along on Tuesday at 5:30. So again, if anyone wants to be part of that, let me know, but I will go up in my group and I'm going to send out a newsletter. So, but if you'd like to do it, even if you can't make it that day, we would really love it if you could give this a crack so we can crack Cookie Dough. All right. Before we quickly go to Pearl, I remember I have more questions for you. All right. Pass the dead horse. What does that mean? Sauce, yes. Okay, now this one I didn't know, I had to look this up. What is Musca domestica? The clue is domestic. Any ideas? No, it's not. It's not. It's a pest at the barbecue. It's a housefly. All right, and what's Lucilia cuprina? Along the same lines, but worse than a housefly. No, it's not a cockroach. But I love your guessing. I love your guessing. It's a blowfly. You don't want those at your barbecue. What's a sanger? No, a sandwich. Yes, it's a sandwich. Your snags, your sausage, and your sangers, your sandwich. I'm a Pom and I know that. If you have eaten so much that you're really full, what would you say in Aussie slang? No. Well, you probably could say that as well, but it's not the word I'm thinking of. It begins with a C. Chair chockers. Perfect. Well done, Jenny. What do you put a beer in to keep it cool at a barbecue?
Yes.
Yeah, full is a good, yeah, actually Andrew says that too. And it's stubby holder. Perfect. And what's a slab?
6 beers.
Yeah, how many? How many beers? Yes, 24. Perfect. All right, there you go. I'll put you out of your misery. That's the end of the quiz. But we will go to Pearl.
Hi everyone. I'm making a cocktail cum dessert, which can also be used as a cocktail. You can use it as a dessert, whatever you like. Okay. And I'm making a very easy recipe. And first time I'm making it. I'll just show you here. I don't know if you can see the screen. This is called Don Pedro. So it says 80 grams of dark chocolate grated, which our kids don't like dark chocolate. So I have used the milk chocolate. It also says use vanilla ice cream. And I'm so proud that I made my own. This is my vanilla ice cream because it says, see the tip. And if you see the tip, it gives you the recipe. You can search for the recipe. Also, if we look at the tips, it tells you if you don't have Kahlua, I have. If you don't have Kahlua, you can use either whiskey or Frangelico. Frangelico is also a liqueur. So let's start cooking. So I have made, let me go start back. Okay, so since I've already grated my chocolate, I'll start here at the second one. 800 grams of vanilla ice cream. Next, 120 or 200 grams of Kahlua. I'm going to skip this for the moment because I'm going to make one which is without Kahlua in it, a mocktail. 200 grams of pouring cream because I've got one non-alcoholic girl in my house or underage girl. So 200 grams of pouring cream.
How old is she, Pearl?
She's 15, so I've got another 2 years to go. So insert spatula through the hole of the mixing bowl for 20 seconds on speed 4.
Now that container that Pearl's got her ice cream in is available on the mix shop as well. The mix shop, just in case you didn't know, is actually one of the biggest kitchen shops in Australia. It's got a massive amount of stuff on there. It's very dangerous when you get on there, but it's got some great stuff. And if you are buying from there, make sure you pop your consultant's name in as you're going to the checkout.
So this is my non-alcoholic glass. Done. And I have differentiated my glasses so there cannot be a mistake at all. Which the small one would be happy if there was a mistake. Okay, now I'll go back and I will put my Kahlua in it. $200 grams looks like a lot. I'm glad tomorrow's Sunday. To this, go to the recipe details, and I'll go right to the end. and then the color is different. Now I'll just sprinkle some chocolate on top of it. You want some more chocolate, you can put. So this is what. These are my cocktails for the dessert.
Beautiful, Pearl. Thank you so much. Enjoy, and make
Yes.
sure you take a photo.
Oh, surely I will.
Fantastic. All right.
You.
So we're just going to do a quick flick around and see how everybody's going, and hopefully show you finished items. My damper is still cooking, but I will just pull it out and show you what it looks like. The salad, I've got my avocado on the salad, so that's a pretty nice, colourful salad. I'll just grab the damper. Hang on, I'll put it down. So it's that's my damper, not my damper, it's not for me. But there we go. I'll let that brown up a bit more, and I'll bring it over when it's warm, Kelly, and then your boys can enjoy it with some butter or something nice, melty butter on it. All right, Pam, have you all plated up there?
I am plated up.
Oh,
I've just
wow.
done it on an open style, but it's I have to tell you, I did have a sneak of one. Andrew couldn't wait. The dog was going mad because he could smell it. It's beautiful. It's so moist. It's really, really lovely. And just tastes, oops, lost a bit off the top. It tastes like proper meat as opposed to some of the weird stuff you get from supermarkets. The other thing I wanted to show you too is with the meter, it comes with this little container and it sits in here like this, and this is the charging station. So that charges up, and it's also sends a signal and things. It's got a battery in the back, and we've had it for, well, how long have we had these? 2 or 3 years, and I've never changed the battery in it.
Yeah.
So
At least a couple.
yeah, so that's, and it comes in this nice little wooden box, but it's really handy. So that's the charging station for it there. But yeah, great. I'm really excited about having these.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Pam. That's fantastic. Thank you. Keisha.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That looks delicious too.
Yes, so it's the cheese is sticking to the pasta. I would buy better quality panko breadcrumbs for better effect next time. And I'm gonna serve with beans to be on a healthy side.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So just back to me, Boone, please. We've got a question in the chat about the mat. So the mat's called the oven mat. It's on the mix shop, about $40. But you know, I've had that for years, like Pam was saying about, you know, the Meter Plus. I've had that for years. You can see it's, well, yeah, I use it for everything. I cook bread rolls on there. I could cook cookies on there, anything. I roast pumpkin on there. You just use it for everything. But that's why, I mean, it's not a pretty color, but it doesn't matter, it's still working. What you do have to be careful with those mats is that you don't use a sharp knife, because they're silicone mats and they've got, I forget what it's called, fiber, what do you call that, sort of glass, fiberglass, this is the one, in it. So you must always, if you're gonna, like when I cut that damper, I took it off there to cut it. I didn't cut it on there. All right. Now, any other questions, anybody? No? So thank you all for coming along. Thank you so much for the team. They're always amazing and happy to give up time to help you guys. Next week at the same time, we are doing low carb. So you are very welcome to come along to that. Ask your consultant for the link, which I'll send them. And yeah, really good to see you all. Thanks for spending an hour and a bit of your afternoon with us. Hey.